everyone and welcome back. This is part 2 of how to draft a sleeve based on Bunka method with CLO 3D. In the previous video we made our armhole line, our cap height line and hemline. Now to draft the curved part of the sleeve, first we draw a line from the cap point with the length of our front armhole length which we had measured before and we made a note of. So this is 22 centimeters. You can draw a line and end it at armhole line where you reach the 22 centimeters, or if you want to be more precise you can use the internal ellipsis tool here. Put your center point here and choose the radius of 22. Here where the circle meets the armhole line, you can draw the line with the G, and you can be sure that you get the 22 measurement. I add a point at intersection here and here on the internal line. For the back armhole you need to draw this similar line, but this time you need to add it by 1 centimeter and a star. But what a star is, let me show you in a second. According to Bunka method, when your bust measurement is more than a regular bust measurement they have in their population or average body type, you need to add a little bit more based on this column. So for example, our chest measurement is between 94 and 95. We need to add 0.2 or 0.3 as the star amount. I choose the 0.2 measurement because I don't want to give a lot of ease to my sleeve cap. It's hard to sew when you get a lot of length on your sleeve cap. So I added by 0.2. So our back armhole was 23.37. If you add 1.2, you get 24.57. So with the same way I create this line. .57. Okay. Add point to intersection and we can draw the line. We delete the circle because we don't need it anymore. Okay, now we can bring our pattern outline to these points because we know that our sleeve won't go further from these lines. We can also trim our internal line. Our sleeve is a bit moved. Just make sure always your armhole point is aligned with your bodice. Make sure these pieces are locked too. Okay, I draw another armhole line, but this time I need to divide the line between F and armhole point to 3 equal parts. I do it on both sides. Okay, now for drawing this shape, you see the curve between this white circle and black circle needs to be copied from armhole and then mirror paste on these two sides. But be careful that it's not going up to this G point. It's only these two parts we need the curve to be copied from. So how we do it here? I draw a vertical line till I reach the point of armhole. Same on the back. Then I draw a line from this point to this point, and with the V tool I mimic the curve of my armhole shape. Okay, now I can select and copy this and right click, mirror paste, and put it here. Keep the point aligned with armhole line. Okay, if you zoom in, you see a little bit difference. Just make sure your piece is aligned with armhole line. You can do the same thing with the back armhole. Ctrl C and right click, mirror paste here. Okay, so this is the lower part which we completed. Now for the upper curve, divide this front armhole by 4 equal parts, and from this point create a perpendicular line 1.8 centimeters, like so, as a guideline. And for the back, find the same amount, split it on the back, 5.5, and according to the diagram, go 1.9 to 2 centimeters up from this point. Okay, now to draw the curve, there is a point here which we call it inflection point. Inflection point is where the direction of your curve is changing. For example, here the curve is convex, and from this point it becomes concave. So that's an important point, and it is 1 centimeter above the G line. I delete these points because I don't need them. Then I right click, add a point in intersection, and from that point I measure 1 centimeter up. So this is our point. Okay, now we can create our curve with the G or internal polygon tool. Hold and drag. On the curve points. Same for the back, we can find the turning point 1 centimeter below the G line. Okay, hold and drag. On curve points and enter. We can improve the shape of our curve with the use of these handles, just with edit pattern tool. Before we further improve the shape of our curve, let's see how much the length of our crown length is, because it can be more than 3.6 centimeters than our armhole length. So as you know, when we draw the sleeves, we can have some extra length on our crown, which is called ease, but this amount could not be more than a certain amount because it makes it difficult to sew the sleeve. In the Bunka method, this amount can be 7 to 8% of total armhole length, which makes it 3.1 to 3.6 for our example. I measure the crown length by selecting these lines. 49.5, almost 49, and our armhole was 45.3. 3.6, which is a good amount. It is better to keep it a little bit lower. So when I'm improving my curve, I try to reduce the curves as much as possible to reduce my length slightly. I'm not very off, but it's good to know that I don't want my curves to be longer. We can trace our sleeve out, but before that, let's find the elbow line as well. We need to find out the middle point between cap point and cuff line. Add it to 2.5 centimeters and draw the line. So let me delete these lines which we don't need. Divide this line. Okay. Split this line in half and move the point down by 2.5 centimeters. Now I can draw a straight line from this point to both sides, and this is my elbow line. Now let's trace the sleeve out with trace tool. And clean some of these lines. If you are happy with your curve line, you can change these points to curve point. Only keep this point for now. Next step is to find some alignment points and the fold lines based on our diagram. Let's put this away. This is our sleeve. We put it back where we had it. We don't need these lines for now. I just delete them. And we have to divide these lines to 2 equal parts at front and back. So first I put a point at intersection in the middle. Okay, I don't need this point. Okay, I need only this middle point. Now I split this part like so, and draw a line from the points I have made. Add point to intersection on the curve, and you see, according to our chart, this part, this curve from the armhole is copied and mirrored here. We can do that by copy and mirror paste. We don't need this part again. To find the alignment point for the sleeve, you see where the armhole point is meeting the G line on our bodice. We can put a notch there. So for that we need to bring our bodice back, unlock it, bring it to front by right click, order, select it with the A, order, bring to front. Okay, now we can see better. So where the armhole meets the G line, we can put a notch. Okay, and we also want to delete this previous notch because it makes us confused. Delete the notch. Okay, so on the armhole from let's convert this point as well. So from this point to the notch is 9.18. So we measure here and put a notch on the sleeve on the same length. Now I bring the sleeve to front, convert this point to curved point, and add a notch, at 9.18. For the back curve we do similar process. We take this curve with edit pattern tool, copy, mirror paste here, make sure these points are matching, and we see where this line meets the armhole, like how in our diagram you see this point is found here. We measure that line, first convert this point to curve, and here as well. So you see this line is matching up to here. So I put a point here, I split it and measure the line is 5.69, and I put a notch at the same distance. Just because it is the back, I add another notch to distinguish it from the front. It could be anywhere. I just want to have two notches. The main notch is the lower one. Okay, now our sleeve is almost ready. I just change these lines to basic lines because maybe we need them later for modeling. Okay, now we can start sewing, but before that we need to put some notches on our main bodice as well, because we need to sew them together. I first delete the pieces I don't need or archive them here. So these are our top part, the bodice, and this is our sleeve. The notch we have for the front is at 9.18. We add the notch, same position here, and the notch we have here is at 8.18. I can split this point to be more clear. Yeah, 8.18. And the second notch is 0.6 from it. Okay, now we need a symmetrical piece for the sleeve. Just click on the sleeve and Ctrl D, you get another one. This is your left sleeve and this is your right sleeve. You can also write down if you don't want to mix up. The main point is that this notch should be sewn to the front. I bring the 3D window back. And turn on my arrangement points. So as I said, this is the left sleeve as the wearer. I put it on the right position, on the correct position. You can adjust if needed, but looks fine to me. Okay, for sewing, first I start sewing from armhole to the notch, then from notch to the cap, and then go to the back, do the same thing. So go to the notch and find the right sleeve, and from notch to the sleeve cap. Here you need to hold shift and first sew this small point and then go to the rest, and then on the back go to the lower notch and from lower notch to the armhole point, like this. So see, these parts have no ease on them. The seam has zero difference between armhole and the crown, same at front and back. The ease we are having is on the top part of the sleeve. Okay, now we sew the underarm of a sleeve, which is easy. You can do it with segment sewing tool or N. Now you can simulate, and here are the sleeves we have. If you see your armhole is going into your body, the issue might be due to your avatar uh, skin offset. Go to the property editor and you can change the skin offset to 1, reduce it, and it helps the garment sit more freely on your avatar. If you see your shoulder points are sitting a bit low, it might be due to your armhole getting stretched. What you can do is to add elastic to your neckline, as I did for the back. I can do for the front as well and show you. Just click on the arm neckline and tick the elastic with the ratio of 100. Okay, our bodice and sleeves are ready. We can also change the pose to see how it looks. Right now we are in the narrow pose. We can go to attention pose, and you see sleeves are sitting nicely. And if I turn on my internal lines, you see they are not twisted and there are no drag lines on the sleeves. We can reduce the hemline of our sleeve based on the style we are making, but since this is basic pattern, I have not changed the hem opening measurements. Thank you for watching this tutorial. In the next videos, I'll show you how to change the cut lines, dart lines, and create new styles based on this basic pattern.